service of Vatican Radio.
Hello and welcome to The World Around Us, news about our environment. I am your host, Sister Jacinta Antoinette Okoth of the Franciscan Sisters of St. Anna. In this edition, I bring you the third and final part of Vatican Media's interview with Brother Adolf Mugume of the Holy Cross Congregation on the encyclical letter Laudato Si on the 10th anniversary of its publication. The encyclical, written by PopeFrancis and released in May 2015, just before the Paris Climate Summit, calls on all of us to take care of our common home through sustainability, social justice, and responsible environmental stewardship. In last week's edition, Brother Adolf spoke about how climate change affects people's mental health. Today, the brother who founded the Laudato Youth initiative in Uganda explains how the Uganda Martyrs serve as an inspiration to care for our common home as individuals and as faith communities.
When I look at environmental care and care of creation, there are two things that come in mind for me as Adolf is God and His creation. That if this can help me understand that these two things go hand in hand, then I will appreciate my faith and I will solidly stand. Actually, I envision the Laudato youth being young people who will solidly be martyrs of God's creations, to say. In the little things that they do, I look at the story of the Uganda martyrs. They were not so educated. They were not so popular people like people might have thought. They were these people who were zealous and founded in their faith, that they stood for what they believed. And for me, it was inspiring to realize that also one of the things they believed in is the aspect of protecting God's creation. Say, I have my totem as a tree. So when that tree is designated as a totem, that means the society will respect it. The society will not destroy it. That's where we've had in Uganda, in some communities, preserving trees for 2,000 years. And the story behind it has always been, it's a protected tree. How about if we began looking at the environment, the general environment, not just the trees, which the Uganda Martyrs did. You see, some have trees, have some animals, have some, all this natural creation that was embodied. And the Uganda Martyrs had a very big story to tell. And I think we've dug more about that, and our youth are doing a lot of research to find out how much do we bring this story to life for us to appreciate the good legacy of the Uganda Martyrs, but also learn from it that the faith that moved the Uganda Martyrs to die for their faith is the foundation of the hope and the strong faith I think we have in Uganda, Africa, and the rest of the world today has greatly been contributed by the Uganda Martyrs. So we also need a generation or groups of young people who would think that way, that there is something we can hold as a value to the world, not just to us as individuals, but of course for it to make sense to us as individuals or to the world, it has to begin with us as individuals. Just like the Uganda Martyrs, they took their path and witnessed to the faith. Today, in Uganda, you have a big Catholic population, not just even Catholic. Many people go to the shrine of the Uganda Martyrs as they know this is a place of hope. This is where faith stems. I also said, we being born in the land of the martyrs, I think we are giving birth to something for the world. The Laudato Youth did not start out of something that is ordinary. I would say the COVID-19 was also an extraordinary experience. And also, as I told you, we began as a result of needing to instill hope.
Brother Adolf also shared on how the Laudato Youth initiative has spread to Tanzania and Kenya, and how it has inspired interfaith encounters during the season of creation, which takes place every year from the 1st of September, the World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation, to October 4th on the feast of St.FrancisofAssis, the patron of ecology.
So in Tanzania, we have two clubs. One is in a vocational school at Old Reveldman Vocational Institute in Kitete, way down there. They sit near Ngorongoro National Park. So one time when we shot a little documentary encouraging people to appreciate what nature gives us and how it supports our livelihood. Say we can only get clean water if we conserve forests, if we conserve water catchment areas. And they felt they were also in an environment that needed to be safeguarded. So they asked us, how can this initiative help us engage ourselves and our community to sustain? Because their concern was water was a big thing. They didn't appreciate before that the forests and the national parks had a big contribution to their livelihood. But when they saw how we have unpackaged it in a documentary of what is happening to our common home, you see, they too thought we could engage in a simple way on how we can preserve water. And now you'll see the club is doing very well. They are sensitizing people on how the ecosystem is contributing to conservation of water in the environment. They are now appreciate the importance of planting trees, and they are reaching out to the indigenous communities of the Maasai pastoralists. Like some children come from those families, also encouraging them to say, what you learn here, you can do it home. So what we are actually doing is helping them transfer the knowledge of what they learn in their clubs. They can go and do it at their homes. And when people see the fruits of what they are doing home, they can easily go and also start up something in the community. And another thing that has been very practical was interfaith dialogue. So we have also pioneered something very strong on parish levels, interfaith conferences. During the season of creation, actually, we always have interfaith dialogues where we invite people of different faith denominations and leaders to come. And we go to table and share about what do our faith say about care for creation.
That was Brother Adolf Mugume of the Holy Cross Congregation and founder of the Laudato Youth initiative in Uganda, which has since spread to Kenya and Tanzania. And that is all for today's edition. Until next week, the same time, I am Sister Jacinta Antoinette Okoth.
You have been listening to the English Africa service of Vatican Radio, and I am Johnny Baptist Tumusime. In our next program at the same time tomorrow, you can hear our feature, The Family. Praised be Jesus Christ. Laudato Jesus Christus.